spouses and friends of the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment gathered at Fritz Field on 10 January for a chance to earn their honorary cavalry spurs during the regiment's annual Spouse Spur Ride. Dating back to the early origins of Army Cavalry, qualified troopers took part in a spur ride, or a series of mental and physical challenges that, if successfully completed, would initiate them into the regiment and officially induct them into the Order of the Spur.
As part of that, what they had within cavalry organizations was this thing called earning your spurs. And when you showed up at a new organization as a new officer enlisted, you, most cases, came from the cities or whatever the case may be. You didn't know how to ride a horse. You didn't know how to do basic operations with your saber and everything else. And so when they arrived, when you arrived as a new individual or new soldier, you're issued a shaved tail horse. And essentially that shaved tail horse identified that you're a newbie, and if you're swinging your saber, everybody around you may want to back off and give you a little bit of room. And so hence the term shaved tail. But they also wouldn't issue your spurs to you at that point in time, because just having the spurs on you as you're trying to work the horse for the first time added an additional level of complexity to things. And so it normally wasn't until you went through a certain amount of tasks and requirements that you'd actually get issued your spurs, and that you were then identified as a true member ready to contribute to the unit. And so as part of that tradition that we've kept within the cavalry organizations, and what we will be working through today is essentially the silver spurs are earned when you go through those requirements and within that task to earn those spurs. But what we wanted to give the opportunity for is to bring the spouses out, give you a chance to participate in that piece as well. Because as you're tied to this organization and this unit, you're also tied to our history as well. And so what we want to do is give you all an opportunity to go through this today and to get an opportunity to earn your spurs as well. So thank you all very much for coming out.
Well, we were invited to this event. I really wasn't sure what a spur ride was, or to earn our spurs. We did some PT, we did some shooting of weapons, a lot of running, a lot of running. This old lady can't handle a lot of running, but we did a lot of running. I kept up with the group, and we enjoyed being part of this group. It was an honor to be here. It really was an honor to be here. But there is a whole new respect to my son, to any and all soldiers that go through this, because I know we weren't trained the way soldiers are trained, and it takes a toll on the body. It really does. And there is a whole new respect for all soldiers.
I had a wonderful time today. There were 5 different stations that we went through. We actually got to experience what an active duty soldier would experience, which was phenomenal for me as a military mom. It brought me closer to what my son actually does. So my favorite event out of that was the bounding event. It was outstanding to be able to bound from location to location to location, being shot at the whole time. What was going through my mind was there's an awful lot to remember. There's an awful lot to remember. You've got to say certain things so that the team members behind you know what's going on. You've got to be quick on your feet so that you know again what's going on. To me, it was a little overwhelming. It was a lot that you had to know how to do. I was lead on that. And I got yelled at a lot, but that's okay. It goes along with it.
For me, only seeing a Bradley is when my son come in off the field. So being in the back of it, my husband says to me, your son is going to ask you why you were in the back of a Bradley. I said, but I get to tell him, I earned my spurs. Yes, the Bradley is one of my favorites. Along with the tank, I gotta stay true to my husband, and my other son is a tanker. We learned how to take the skirt off. And we didn't mount and dismount because time was small, windows. So we learned how to open the skirt.
Well, we had a blast. I think it is a huge morale builder for the ladies as a whole to come together. And I think the hardest thing for me would have had to be the, what is that called? The litter carry. It entails 4 people on 2 on either end of the litter. So you get on there and you've got to do a lot of dropping to the knee and coming back up, and it's a lot of work. You got to cover your head. You got to make sure you're carrying this big person. When we would hear fire, we would have to go down with the big booms. We'd have to actually go down all the way, drop it. But I think the worst one was when you're doing the crawl. You're doing like the little. That's probably the worst one for me. You earn a lot of respect for the guys. You know, you're like, oh my gosh, this is what they go through. It's fun for us, but with them, it's serious. And you learn to be like, oh my gosh, when they come home saying I'm tired, they're really tired. Like, we only did, you know, some hours of this, and I'm like, ooh. So you earn a lot of respect to those guys, you know.
Okay, well first we got our safety briefing, of course, and then we had to go to stations. First station was a foxhole, and we had to check the foxhole, and then back up, and do our pin, 5-second warning, throw it in the foxhole, roll in the dirt away. You ended up full of dirt. Then you went to the next station, and it had a little bunker, and we had to pick our head up over it, and then jump up, 5 seconds, pull the pin, throw it, and make it inside of a ring. The pin does not want to come out. It's like it's glued in there, and that was the test. I promise you, that was the test. So you got to take and pull and twist, and then it comes out. But I didn't look like a doofus, and I actually got a confirmed kill.
Lock the bolt to the rear, put it on safe. Put the rounds in here. You're going to make sure your round is all the way over here. And when you shut this V-tray, you want to make sure your finger's over here on the side.
The spouses also had the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the various weapon systems that their soldiers operate on a daily basis.
Given under my hand this 10th day of January 2013.
Although a friendly competition, teams drew inspiration from the warrior ethos and ensured the success of all spouses by working together and providing the motivation to those that struggled. When the time expired, all the spouses had successfully completed the Spur Ride task and were therefore awarded the honorary Spurs. Reporting from Fort Irwin, California, I'm Captain Chad Cooper.